Hey, what's going on, everyone? Astrologer Eric Rosen here for your July 11th horoscope for 2024. Well, we do have Venus finally moving into Leo today. It's going to more firmly start that opposition to Pluto, even though I think we've already been feeling it on an emotional level, maybe some come to Jesus sort of moments, with like, what do we need to connect more to? What do we need to disconnect from? But now this is going to be shifting more into the courage, the passion to see it through of like what those things are. It's especially going to be around relationships, but also our value systems as well. With it being in Leo, I always say that this brings up passion and intensity, but if it's uncalibrated, then it leaks into drama. And I think with Venus there opposed Pluto, things can get crazy, messy really fast, relationship wise, unless we are anchored into our values. We know what we want to do, where we want to put our focus, where we want to put our energy, where we want to put our heart's compass, our heart's drive. It's a lot of energy. There's no getting around it, and it wants to go somewhere. So it's like, put it into the things that you're passionate about, relationships that are working, that don't need fixing. It could be like if your value system is in a situation where it's like you need to like fix something, like where maybe you were out of integrity with love, with your values, with, just treating others with the same type of love and respect that you would others. Yeah, sure, go ahead and fix it. But it's also like the courage to know when to say when with situations, and when to let go, when to like go deeper. But the cool thing is that the energy of love will let us know, like, it will feel good, it will feel courageous, it won't feel like this psychological, dramatic, we're creating stories like in our heads and, running away with that stuff. And so I think our intuition's already been showing us with Venus coming off a nice aspect to Neptune, where it's like, okay, like I see what to do, but now I think this is where the execution piece becomes a little bit more critical with things. And with that moon still in Virgo, it's, we still got to get things done. There's things to do, people to talk to. But all in all, I spin this as a positive. I think this is a day of practice for the light workers. It brings up like, I'm sure Michael Jordan didn't always know how to twirl a basketball on his finger. He had to practice that shit. And so it's like, with Venus and Leo, sometimes we want to be a little showy, but it's like, it's the practice of it, and it's rooting into ourselves and believing in ourselves, and, reminding ourselves like too on the mental level, like, I got this, like I know how to choose a better route in life that's good for my value systems, it's good for people in general. And like there's always a way, even if it feels complex mentally, even emotionally, like on how to like let all the things connect. I think that we just have to really show up, in a sense of compassion, love, and just do the things that we know to do. I think we have to be on our toes. I mean, with Mars approaching Uranus, this opposition that I'm describing with Venus and Pluto, I think that, disruptions, challenges, like they're a natural part of the course of the evolution of this astrology, but it's really how we handle it that matters. And the thing I like about Saturn, Neptune, and Pisces, especially as Neptune is coming off that aspect to Venus, it's like, okay, well, even if it doesn't go perfect with Moon and Virgo, like, it's okay. Like, that's where we troubleshoot. That's where we improve. That's where there's efficiencies. I want to say, really stress this point that today is not about mastering or getting it perfect, any of this astrology that I'm talking about, because I don't think it can go 100% perfect in terms of like the egoic way that we think that, a loving, courageous path of, showing up should look in whatever area of life it is for you. I think it's more about the understanding that maybe some things aren't meant to like work out. Some things are meant to just not have the intended result, and it like goes in a different direction. And then it's like, okay, cool, stay neutral. Don't get overwhelmed by it, and go, okay, how do I pivot and go in this other direction? What improvements can I make in my life? And for the love of God, like, don't put it on other people, find a way to be compassionate and courageous while not guarding the heart, but to just stand firm in a sense of truth, but making sure that it's not a headstrong, dramatic truth, that we're actually connected to the higher dimensional frequencies that are available to us, that show us that oftentimes there is a perspective that is not part of our belief system. And then, Spirit shows us, oh, actually it's this. Actually, someone was telling me the other day, it was like Edward Casey, the great American sleeping prophet, the channeler. He would channel the Akashic records, and he would come back, and then he would hear from the stenographer, and it was like, oh, wait, that stuff that I just channeled that I didn't know about, because he went so deep into trance channeling, doesn't fit my belief system. And so this is where we're at, is we almost have to just be our own channel and make sure that we're connected to good, high vibrational energies, and energetic hygiene is key, to make sure that we're just like not showing up in a place of like where we're trying to win an opposition with people or situations. And this can be subtle and minor, everything from like just family stuff to people in the world in general. And I think it's every moment, coming back to a sense of safety, that this is all reminding us too that we all belong, and that, when we feel that sense of belonging, that we don't have to fight or defend with others or even against the outside reality if there's something we're not liking, and that we can connect to good frequencies that actually allow us to anchor in a divine bridge and feel rooted here on this earth. And then it's like, oh wow, like it's like amnesia, like now I remember, now I have the power, I am, a light worker, I am, a spiritual being in a physical body. It's like, of course I can have my needs met and just do all the things that I want to do. So it's sort of like a day, I think, for sort of stepping out of the illusion of things as well, of where maybe sometimes we get bored and we create our own drama because it seems like we need to be tough in that way, when really, like, what we could probably all use right now is a little bit of like softening and tenderness, with the approach to life, because it's in that tenderness that we create receptivity, and we can let those frequencies in easier and feel safer on Earth. So it's not so much about, it's not like a fawning response or, being like everything's okay, like mentally, or being like too feminine. It's actually like rooting into even going just beyond masculine, feminine energies, and just, finding that tenderness, finding that peace within. And I think that's what attracts good things today. So if you guys want to get a natal chart reading, the link will be below, as well as a deep dive astrology reading to take you into that space of like the upcoming cycles ahead, if there's questions you have about your life. All right. Love you all. Take care.